listen to their whines and maniacal cries. Worship the dollar and cent, white collar descent. You holler and bent over the most tiny moderate dent. In your mountains of gold, accounts that you hold, you wound up an old young blood man. That fountain is cold. And I used to swear upon wisdom. You got brains to spare, you gotta give some. I kick back a flare, my ignition. It's time to ride. When I need to feel alive, I just get in my car and drive.
Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number 1 of Knights That Go Bork versus Counterpick Stupid. My name is Rocket, and I'm joined tonight by Anare. Hello, hello.
I'm Anare, who's joining Rocket tonight.
This is that really, really interesting screen at the beginning where Anare has nothing to say because she wasn't actually around for map ban, so she has to be like, oh, okay, cool.
I'll have interesting surprise reactions while you talk about the things that happened. It'll be great.
So, to start off with, it looks like both Knights That Go Bork and Counterpick Stupid just absolutely hate the Raven Lord. First two bans were Counterpick Stupid took out Towers of Doom, and then Knights That Go Bork took out Cursed Hollow. We also do have the Borkers not wanting to go to Alterac, and Sky Temple being removed by Counterpick. So, basically it feels like big maps are not the hotness for this matchup. We have both 2-lane maps are still in rotation. The smallest map is still there, and then Volskaya exists, I guess.
Yeah, and Shrines is decently large, but yeah, not on the level of Sky Temple or Cursed. Alright, looks like we've got ours in the chat.
Yep, we're about to be moving into... I do like Infernal, even though I cast it all the bloody time. Like, it very much feels like Infernal is the default because it's like whatever strategy you want to do, it works on Infernal. You want to split push, you can go Infernal. You want to have a team fight, you can go Infernal. You want to have ranged poke and clear from a distance, you can do that on Infernal too.
It's got something for everyone.
Really the only really big heroes I see, I said really twice because it's a really important word.
Clearly.
The only heroes I see super, super, super high priority here are the ones that team fight and do AoE, like Diva or Sonya, or most importantly, Hogger. Hogger, of course, gets the God Bounce, where he's just like, I'm going to go and clear the shrine, go make a sandwich, come back in, 3 minutes.
Yeah, AoE mages like Kael'thas, Orphea, also super strong here. Because you know exactly where the enemy team wants to be. And yeah, the stacking heroes too. Yeah. The area of the shrine is small enough that you can throw Zul'jin stacks over walls and stuff.
Oh, and we do have the respect ban against Phoenix coming out against 10. Love to see it. Interesting that they are so afraid of Phoenix it actually gets banned before Johanna. I do expect to see Johanna as the second ban, because you basically are contractually obligated to ban Johanna if you are the second banner.
Respect him going out on Manatee. Or Sylvanas is quite impressive.
Is it Madathi? I've been saying Madathi this whole time.
It might be Manathi.
I was hoping to learn something, and now we've just introduced more confusion.
Alright, there's the showdown.
Like I said, contractually obligated. Like, we would have had to stop the game and consult the rules on what happens if Joe does not get banned by the second pick team.
Do you see the Stukov first pick?
Stukov, very, very, very big. Interesting. I like this pick because this pick hints that there might be some sort of like a hard engaged blow-up comp, but not like Stukov is strong enough that you don't need him in that comp. It's not like a variant pick, because variant just says this is what we're doing. We don't have another option.
Yeah, at the same time, Stukov's major weakness is that he doesn't have a cleanse, so first picking him, even though he's such a strong healer and brings such strong CC, it does leave that major weakness open, which I imagine Osprey's going to enjoy charging in and taking advantage of that.
But we do, in fact, have the variant coming out, so this is going to be a very, very, very rush-in taunt, put a hush puddle underneath the target, and then Tychus can just go to town and press his button and be super happy. Because Tychus has the Ding Quest, it's very, very easy to make that man happy.
Yeah. The cleanse that Rhaegar has access to is going to come in clutch this game.
Very, very much so. Also, the fact that Stukov doesn't have a cleanse, does that mean you don't expect offlane Stukov?
That is true. You do not expect offlane Stukov.
I'm just saying, second biggest auto in the game.
Okay. Valk, if I'm understanding you right, that's Madathi, Maddie, and Madathi are all valid pronunciations?
Yeah, Falk is coming in and being like, just change. Basically, what I'm hearing is just change his pronunciation every time we say his name. I mean, I will 1,000% do that.
Oh, Tastar. So we're coming out with. All right, that's still solid. Solid
And of
AoE.
course, we do have the Hogger that I called out early. So a bit interesting. I always am interested when teams do this, where they have last pick. They can make sure they have a good offlane matchup, and they just say we don't want to. Plus, going Hogger when Tychus has already been locked by your opponents is bold. It can work, but you have to have a very, very, very hard engage and just keep Tychus from being able to get onto the point, because if he can get anywhere near Hogger, he just shreds him.
Not if Diablo gets on him.
That's kind of what I expect to see. I sort of expect to see CCS get to the point early, occupy it, and just Hogger can start up. The rest of them just say, you can't approach the point, we'll stop you. Because if both teams move in at the same time, I feel like that's going to hurt the Hogger.
Yeah, we'll definitely see.
The wait is over.
Oh,
Do you have a Cassia, though? So do you have access to blinds for protecting against exactly that?
So yeah, that's gonna make Ikari very, very, very upset.
I mean, for a short period of time. So there is definitely still going to be plenty of uptime on Tychus Strait.
That is quite fair. But we're going to go into the game right now. I will continue talking to you, but our wonderful, amazing faces are going to disappear in 3, 2, 1.
They'll come back, don't worry.
Now let me go ahead and get some amazing gambling up for you guys, because you guys have a problem. I love when I have two teams with like the longest names, except for Yavapai, in the league, playing against each other.
Important distinction there.
And Zephyr, you can't redeem to show off the boots after the cameras go off screen.
Well, we'll make time in the next draft. It'll be great.
So, coming into game number 1, we do go ahead and have the blue team zoning in right now on the left-hand side of Infernal Shrines. Tin is going to be coming in on Nazebo. Ikari is going to be on the Tychus, the swimsuit Tychus, best skin. Don't at me. We do go ahead and have Silver Spy coming in on that Stukov. God, people stay still. Matlock is going to be on the Varian, and then Yatra on the Blaze.
And on the side of Can't Counterpick Stupid, we've got Osprey on Diablo, Wit's End on Rhaegar, Matthew on the Cassia, Keldorn on Tastar, and Zephy on the Hogger.
Looks like the full 5-man for both teams is barreling towards the middle of the map to start us off. Matthew going to go ahead and scout that out with a lightning bolt. Nothing actually seen, but looking at our questing talents at level 1, we do go to have Spider Build coming out of the Nazebo, as well as Static Charge and Thunderstroke. Rhaegar has not actually picked their level 1 yet, which is surprising.
Might be waiting to... or might have been waiting to see what the rest of CCS would do.
Nari goes ahead and moves them. I like the rotation. We do have Double Silk coming out of the Blaze and Zephy. Zephy hanging back for just a second. Does realize the rest of the team is going to be rotating up here right now. Although it still moves out right as they arrive, so maybe... Oh! What happened there? Zephy just kind of like went through the loot horde. Well, he missed it by like a pixel.
It's just in my sound, but I'm back in.
You have a lot of damage on Tin. Wits in wants this, and will actually get cleaned up by the Rhaegar. First Blood does go over to the side of Can't Counterpick. Meanwhile, we do have Madthi at the bottom of the map.
CCS does have a bit of a window before Baron's level 4 comes online.
If you were here earlier today when I cast Moonstone, you definitely saw that being taken advantage of, and very aggressive coming out of CCS for the same reason. Although it does look like Nice to Go Bork is almost to level 4, so they're going to have a little bit less free play. You almost think of it like those games that, you know, when you first start, you have like a 15-day free trial, and then all of a sudden things get hard.
We already see Taunt used with the Stuka Puddle on Diablo, but he does manage to get away.
It did have 45 souls, and that definitely helped. Did get down to about 30% health at one point.
But is getting back up there, no problem. Do you have a collapse onto the Hogger? And with that, yeah. With that Silence Puddle, there's no getting away. We might have a return kill onto the Varian.
Oh, I just realized that.
Low, though. Rhaegar does go down.
No, I just realized this, and I can't believe it's not just the Variant into Silence Puzzle, it's the Variant taunt into Nazebo's zombie wall. So once you stop being taunted, you still can't move for a good long while.
Yeah, and Cleanse does not help with that part of it.
And of course you could be like, well, some heroes have like a movement abilities, not with the Silence Puzzle they don't. Puzzle?
Yeah, it's double constants in the middle. You're good. You're doing great. We do see Nice to Go Bork go ahead and start objective. Got the Blaze up there solo right now. Diablo taking a ton of damage, but is gonna...
It just very nearly killed 10 in the middle, but did not quite get them and just took a lot of cannonballs to the face. How we also do have the Hogger being cleaned up by Tychus. It does look like CCS is making the decision, okay, let's not fight them on point. Let's just go ahead and counter push bottom, and we do have Keldor, Whitson, and Madathi down here trying to get that taken out.
They've already gotten the entirety of front wall, and Nights That Go Bork isn't even up to 20s. 20 on the shrine yet.
However, the entire front wall up top has already been taken out, even though the Punisher is not out yet.
Oh, yeah, CCS never capped their bruisers. Okay. Testar's back, gets interrupted, but he is able to just walk out of there.
Mortar Punisher will be coming out. This is actually really good for CCS because the Mortar Punisher is weakest early game, so it's the hardest one to push with, but it does the most damage to structures. But a 4-minute Mortar Punisher is not going to be that scary to structures.
Nice.
A very heads-up cleanse right as Matlock ran in there. Matlock takes a ton of damage from that fort. Mortar Punisher down to about 20%. Osprey at full health, being a nice wall up at the front.
They are going to get the fort, but looks like the Punisher is going to go down before it even touches the wall.
Poor Punisher really likes beating up walls, and the fort wall was down before he even got there, and he won't get to the keep wall, and he's just sad.
It's a no walls for you kind of situation.
Yatra! I'm a little concerned for this Blaze. Is up there trying to push in, but there's
Hogger. Yeah, Hogger gets trapped at mid, which frees up Nazebo to take bot camp. Level 10's online for Nights That Go Bork.
We are going to go ahead and see them picking up Fortified Bunker, or Bunker Drop. Fortified Bunker's at 20. Commandeer Odin, Flailing Swipe, Shield Wall, and Gargantuan. Gargantuan, definitely understand why they went that. The Ravaging Spirit, although arguably the better ult, does not do super well into Apocalypse. As soon as it comes out, Diablo just presses R real quick.
That's true. Even if you're able to hide yourself in one of the many, many bushes around all of the shrine points, then APOC doesn't care if you're hidden.
Although, of course, APOC is not picked up, though Black Hole is, and that kind of does the same thing. Ball Lightning, Ancestral Healing, and it looks like Portapole. Ended up announcing them both because I'm rude.
Osprey does get caught in the zombie ball, but it's maybe able. Yes. Yeah, we do have the cleanse coming out of Rhaegar, some damage coming out from Diablo's Flame Breath, and Ancestral does go out to keep him in case Knights of the Bork try to re-engage.
Now the problem that they have right now is that Flailing Swipe and Odin were not committed, so a lot of the R's work a bit on the side of CCS, and they don't really have anything. Osprey down very, very, very low. Nice movement by Madathi in order to scare them away, and Os will survive this. They actually use Gargantuan in that.
Yeah, the Soul Shield talent at 1 is doing wonders for Osprey here.
You could have the bruisers being picked up right now by these Knights that go Bork. Gonna get that cleaned up, but meanwhile, we do go ahead and have the shrine activating bottom. It will be an arcane shrine. So that does mean the ever important Frozen Punisher will be the third one. I almost said this will happen after 10s, and I'm like, wait, we've already hit 10s, never mind. I mean, that's still a true statement.
This team's looking for an engage. CCS does end up giving the point to the Knights.
Yeah, they do have to worry about top lane.
And level 13s aren't online for Knights.
That is a very, very good observation that I hadn't really noticed yet, so thank you. So it does look like
they were trying to get a solo pick if possible, catching someone on a rotation when they weren't able to get that. Didn't want to take an even/uneven fight.
Yeah, fighting right there with both a lane pushing against them and a Talon's disadvantage is like the worst of both worlds.
We do see Blaze in mid, so CCS does know that this is a 5v4. Well, it's also a 5v4.5 with Punisher doing his thing.
So Fort goes down, Punisher still at like 75%. There is the leap over the wall, does go ahead and hit Osprey. Moves through, Punisher taking a lot of damage, but this wall is toast. A lot of damage on the Silver Spy, does stay in an electrical storm for just a second, goes down to about half health, but is healing himself back up very quickly.
It does look like Nyx is going to be able to keep wall with that, but the keep is still very, very healthy.
However, that middle pushing Blaze does get middle fort as well, so all three forts are down for Counterpick Stupid. And it looks like they're going to move into bottom camp right now while their opponents are having to clean up the lanes. Not going to rush in here with a 2-level disadvantage for some reason.
I mean, it is going to be, if they do want to take a fight, then now's the time to do it before 16s come online. But yeah, with blue camps pushing mid and bot, there's definitely a lot of cleanup that needs to happen here.
If they can catch someone out, that'll be great. But Knights are doing a good job of moving as 4, except for the Blaze, and the Blaze is rotating like away from where the enemy is, so you can't really engage on him without a hard commitment to moving across the map.
Playing some vision games at mid.
Interesting use of Gargantuan. Using it almost like an Odin just to kind of help the push. However, Matlock a little bit isolated, does go into pop protect. They are looking for a come-in. We do have Yatra nearby.
Don't know if CCS knows that there's a Blaze above them too. 16s have come online for the Knights. So that is a decent advantage for them.
Nice stun onto Whitson. Oh, Whitson just got absolutely exploded. Wow. Unstoppables come out. Diablo in the middle of the entire enemy team is going down very, very quickly and does not have access to a healer. Will go down. We'll come back with 25 souls in just a second.
Survived for a while with the entirety of the enemy team's damage going into him with the soul shield, but it does win out eventually. They might be able to. No, they're not able to punish the place for diving in. Rhaegar just spawning now. CCS still down 16s, but it's in sight for them.
I do have to say, to a certain extent, as much as I don't like seeing Wits go down, you picked Rhaegar into the Knights that go Bork. They're the expert at Bork heroes.
I see what you did there. I also see the Knights that go Bork picking up 2 camps. So they're going to get that map pressure going. Well, Shrine is just about ready to spawn.
Yep, CCS is nearby. Matlock is in the bushes, ready to go into an engage, but the rest of the team is not, strictly speaking, close enough. Nice scout out by Mandathi. Does go ahead and see that Matlock is there. We do have Zephy very, very nearby. They are thinking about moving in. They need to worry about top lane, but they don't want to give up this fourth. They don't want to give up Frozen Punisher. Gargantuan is out right now, but it's just getting absolutely melted down. The rest of the team does go ahead and get off of the point for the time being. Odin is out in the back line.
So coming out the Ancestral does connect.
Nice.
Everybody's still alive for now.
Lightning Breath coming out. Yatra very, very low. CC is looking for an engage, but it looks like they're actually trying to... Mandathi does get taunted very, very close. Is in the silencing roots, and we do go ahead and get Cassia being removed. Stun going on to Tassadar. Caledorn trying to gather. Looks like Will for the time being.
Yeah, looked like Knights were kind of splitting their damage. A lot of low health bars on CCS, a lot of tempting targets, but it's able to get everybody out safely. Yeah, keeping that down to just one. Ooh, but that's.
Yeah, that combo is just so nasty coming
right
from the Knights.
Yeah.
That's one of those things you need Anduin, and you need Anduin with like a 6-second D cooldown instead of, 2 minutes.
Do you see the combo come out? Oh, we see the cleanse come out, but Wits ends up getting caught in the Mzibo and the Silence.
Yeah, they just can't do anything but stand there and slowly melt. It does look like game number 1 is going the way of Knights that go Bork, as that core is just getting shredded.
Yeah, Knights did an incredible job of following up on those Punisher jumps and just being able to really, really take advantage of that aspect of the map.
So yeah, I understand why you are afraid of Tin's Phoenix. Tin is a famous and frightening Phoenix. However, Nazeebo really, really locked into that combo very, very well. Better than most other heroes I've seen.
Still didn't outdamage Caledorn, though.
Nope, Caledorn does lead the way with 40,000 damage. Nazeebo with 38, and Tychus, of course, with 31. In terms of talents, we got those. If you want to copy builds, I'm sorry, we do not see the level 20 picks, so you're going to have to use your best judgment.
Just, flip a coin, roll a die.
Just, play the way these two teams did, and you don't need a level 20 because you won't get there. But with that, we will be back for game number 2 in just a second. Zephyr, at the beginning of the draft, when we come back on screen, I will show off the boots. I did not forget. Actually, you know what?
Sure she remembers too.
I'll just do it now. Why not?
That makes sense.
So, excuse me while my camera gets super, super big and Anaresis does not.
I don't have awesome boots. Go for it.
I mean, you could, though. We don't know.
I don't.
So, these are my psychedelic stompers. I love them. Whenever it rains, they're super pretty. There's a little bit of green on them, so the green screen kind of goes through them. Yep, they're amazing.
Awesome.
Very, very, very happy with them. And now we will be back for game number 2, I promise.
We'll see you guys soon.
Across the savage skies and through the fishes in the fields, the rumble of the engines and the trundle of the wheels, through hell and horror trudging, yet our spirits never yield. Will they sing of these forsaken pawns of war? Hoist the flags, hold the lines, lessons ever lost to time. Now we sing for you, departed pawns of war. My bonny lays afar upon a lonely eider down, while I dream of rats and tar within my burrow in the ground. Infernal gaping scar of boiling mud and thundering sound. They won't sing of this forsaken pawn of war. Hoist the flags, hold the lines, lessons ever lost to time. Now we sing for you, departed pawns of war.
Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 2 between Nice to Go Bork and Counterpick Stupid. First of all, thank you, welcome Raiders. 7th, 8th is Raid coming in. I hope your chaos was amazing. My name is Raka. Right next to me is Anare. She's actually on that side.
I don't know which side I'm on, but hello.
My camera's mirrored. I always do that. I'm like, Papa!
Yeah, you did have fantastic timing, at least from our perspective. You have fantastic timing minus 30 seconds from yours, but we are just hopping into draft right now. As you can see at the top, first map did go over to Nice to Go Bork.
So, Nice to Go Bork came out with a very, very, very devastating combo involving Varian Taunt into Stukov Silence, which you see a lot, but also into Nazebo Zombie Wall. So it was just like once you get out of the taunt, you still can't go anywhere and you can't press your buttons. And you're just like, sad panda face?
With the Punisher being an honorary part of that CC chain.
We have gone to a map without a Punisher, so that will not be a instance, because clearly the Immortals never stun. I don't know what you're talking about.
Who would get caught in that?
We do have Rhaegar being banned out by Counterpick Stupid. Obviously not planning on having a Wits End go the Bork hero. They have learned.
We do still see the 2 respect bans coming out from each side of Phoenix for Tin and Sylvanas for Matthew. And we see the ever-present Joanna ban.
So we will have to see what CCS wants to prioritize for their first pick. Weenus coming in with boots. Weenus, you could have gotten it for free if you were here a second ago. But I will still, once again, inflate and do that while we have the draft going on. So interested for a second, talk about what's going on in the draft.
CCS pick Vala, Knights pick Diablo and Hanzo. Yeah, both teams locking in pretty solid race. Diablo definitely capable of being a menace on a map with this much terrain.
These are my psychedelic stompers. They look amazing in the rain. If you are
awesome on camera too.
If you are a big fan of oh, I forget the name of the song, but Take Your Clothes Off, Go Dancing in the Rain. Do not wear these boots because you won't want to.
I don't know that song, but I believe that it exists. Osprey does lock in Muradin now that Matlock has taken Diablo away. So getting that tank locked in quickly, and Wits End does pick up the Tyrande that can give such a big boost to Shredding Mortals.
Also works very, very well with Stormbolt in order to hold someone in place for a long time. I'm a bit surprised that the lack of priority on Naz, because that's been shown to be so effective.
Yeah, I mean, on a 2-lane map, he's not able to stack as much as on a 3-lane map with a 4-man rotation, though.
Okay, that is quite true. We have the Leoric and the Sonya band out. I like the Sonya band. The Leoric one confused me a bit, because Leoric is a good hero, but not particularly useful against the Immortal. Even if you go the level 4 talent to do extra damage, his damage output isn't that big. Or maybe I just don't play him right.
They may be worried about a Wombo coming out with Hanzo Arrow, either Diablo ult and Entomb.
We do have Silver Spike coming in with the Fun Police, and then Yatra once again on the Blaze.
Even more Wombo potential.
Yes, although the only Light Bomb delivery strategy they have is Diablo and Blaze if he's around, but he shouldn't be most of the time. So granted, I guess this is the map where you have team fights with the offlaner involved more often than any other map.
See Zephy back on Hogger and Lunara coming out from Matthew.
Hoppy dear, best dear.
Hoppy dear, best dear.
I want them to release a deer in Heroes that's just terrible, so that statement makes even more sense.
I hear the call.
You know, if they want to, they can. But until then, she will stand alone as Hoppy dear, best dear. I'm not biased at all. It's fine. Tin does go back on his Evo. apparently thinking that my analysis is not worth listening to for some reason.
So we are going to go into game just a second. Looking at the two comps, I'm a little worried for CCS, but if they pull this off, it could be amazing. Obviously, Vala is a damage factory, and Lunara could go mage build against a stationary hero and just absolutely explode them. So with Murden into Tirana, keeping them in place for a long time, they can do devastating things. But what worries me about that is that that's completely reliant on Osprey being able to get in and get that engage. I feel like the combo is not as good coming out of Knights That Go Bork, but it's still really good. But I need to get predictions up, so if you want to introduce the blue team real quick.
Alright, on the blue team, we do have Matlock taking the Diablo. We've got Yatra on Blaze, looking to maybe start with a 5-man at bot. Ikari on the Hanzo, Silver Spy on Anduin, and Tin back on Nazebo.
Meanwhile, on the orange side of the battlefield, we do go ahead and have Can't Counterpick Stupid coming out with Wits End playing the Tyrande. Caladorn is going to be on the Vala. Osprey playing Murden. Madathi is going to be on Lunara. And we do go ahead and get Zephy in the top lane as that Hagar. I don't know why I made their name French, but I did. Do have the 4-mans riding out to the middle right quick. We do go ahead and have a Vision Ward coming out. Osprey goes ahead and throws a Stormbolt, but does not connect with anything. Looking at level 1 talents, we actually have the Spider Build coming out of Nazebo one more time. And then Simple Geometry on the Hanzo. Perfect Storm coming out of that Meridian.
So we'll see Meridian way in the mix trying to get those base attack stacks. Do have Q build coming out of Vala as well, so that's just gonna add to the growingly terrifying Immortal Shred coming out of CCS.
Yeah, the Shred coming out of CCS, I think does definitely favor CCS. Obviously, Simple Geometry is very good against the Immortal, but Tyrande plus Vala plus Lunara. Lunara is not guaranteed, it depends on what level 4 she takes.
I imagine Maddie will go Nature's Calling here, but she may have a different plan in mind. We'll find out. Zebo Wall does go out to try and zone. Knights That Go Bork are able to pick up the camp, but no casualties on the side of CCS.
Yep, did go ahead and zone Osprey into the kill field, but then Osprey is like, hey, I can jump.
Well, fun fact, I'm a dwarf.
You wouldn't think
As he has demonstrated once more.
wouldn't think the dwarfs are like the leap masters. Although I guess I can't say that because you got both Sonya and Lunara that are better at leaping.
Good leaping.
Alright, there's Osprey moving into the middle. We do go ahead and have the zombie wall comes up, but does not actually catch anyone. That is the one thing that Tin has to be a little bit frustrated about, because other than Light Bomb, there's no auto I hit with zombie wall button.
Yeah, I mean, you can put it down. You can have Diablo flip into a zombie wall. That's definitely a lot harder to pull off and easier to trap Diablo in there with them than with the variant taunt Stukov Silence.
Both sides are going to pick up their bruiser. I love Yatra and Zephy both just sitting here looking at the bruiser being like, you going to go for it? No? Are you going to go for it? No?
No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. Except the opposite of that.
Alright, we do go ahead and have a race coming out of CCS immediately around their Immortal. I do think this is the right strategy. They definitely do have much faster clear. And you can see that as their Immortal goes down to 50. Actually, it's closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, impressive showing coming out of the Knights.
We did have Lunara go Nature's Calling at level 4.
Well, it's going to be close, but the first one does go over to Can't Counterpick Stupid.
I liked how they all started moving up because they weren't sure where the Immortal was going to go. Immortal does head down to the bottom. Not going to be a very, very impactful Immortal. Obviously does go ahead and have a lot to go through. I like the zombie wall of the Immortal. The Immortal's like, I don't care.
Still fairly healthy health bars on all the heroes, but the wall is going to go down.
You clear out the wall. Very, very even experience from both teams right now. Each of them at the very cusp of level 7.
Osprey lands a Stormbolt. It was a little too far away for her follow.
Blaze is going back up to the top, so we do have 4v4 down below. He was down here looking for some sort of engage. A lot of damage onto the nice pull from the Matlock was in a lot of trouble, but is going to get out of there. However, this does mean the Zebo is the target. Diablo runs back in, but it does look like a full retreat, and they will actually get out on the side of Nice to Go Bork.
This will likely free up CCS to take bottom camp if they want it. Actually, no, Diablo had tap, so he's going to be back up to full pretty soon.
Nazebo did Hearth back, but I'm not sure CCS is aware of that.
Yeah, I thought I saw a Skullcracker coming out of Muradin. Those extra stuns to lock them in place just a little bit more to get that extra Vol Lunar damage in. Could definitely come in handy. Didn't quite lead to a kill that time, but the night is young.
I've definitely played against good Muradins, and I'm just like, do I ever get to move? And the answer is yes, for like a half step at a time.
Osprey not able to get out that time.
Yep, was not able to have leaps. Wow, Madathi had just like 18 arrows going all sides of his head. Her head.
You and all your servants in
But she's talking to your best here. You got away. Does look like CCS is going to get a decent head start on Immortals, though, with Nice to Go Bork taking that bot camp.
Yep, they do get down to, their Immortal has not even taken damage yet. Unfortunately, it does go to defensive positions, which is not necessarily what CCS wanted. Because they do have to go and clear bot camp real quick.
Yeah, Knights aren't totally sure if they're free to go in though. Yeah.
There's Anduin once again being the fun police, because it pulls Diablo right out of danger.
It does look like the Knights are going to hit level 10s first. Not by much, but by enough to... great zombie wall comes out to trap Wits, and Osprey goes down just after that. He might... No, he's not able to get away.
Yeah, remember how we talked about how there were, like, the stuns on this map weren't the same as the Punishers because no one gets hit by them? We were kidding. They actually kind of were, but... We definitely do see that zombie wall coming out in order to be like, guess who doesn't get to lead this stun?
Level 10's not quite online for CCS yet. Never mind. They are online.
So, over on the side of the Knights, we do see Gargantuan, Apocalypse, Bunker Drop, Light Bomb, and Dragon's Arrow coming out.
And on the side of CCS, we see Leaping Strike from Lunara, Rain of Vengeance for the Vala, Horde of Hulk from Hogger, Avatar from Muradin, and Starfall from Tyrande.
So shields are gone at this point. They've gotten through most of the front wall.
And we do see Nazebo going to the bot lane to go against Hogger instead of Blaze.
Interesting enough,
they're
they're both at each other's fort. Okay, now they're kind of reversing.
Once again, CCS able to protect most of their fort. Once again, no, that was last map. I don't know. I did have some tea between matches, but clearly it wasn't quite enough.
You're absolutely okay.
Both teams posturing a little bit for top camp.
Yep, representing their intent. We do go and have the reverse. Blaze is back south. Here comes Nazebo from the side.
Spider's whiff.
Zombie wall whiffs.
Whiffs?
Whiffs?
Whiffs. I like it.
Oh, I like that. I hadn't noticed yet, but Lunara did go ahead and go with Splintered Spear at level 7. I haven't seen that talent in a while.
A huge amount of damage going on to Diablo is going to be enough to finish from Lunara, maybe. It's definitely going to be enough to zone them out and distract them from... Yeah, Tin goes down handily well. Well focuses mostly on getting Diablo out.
Diablo did a very quick retreat, and Tin was like, I can go ahead and get this, and then CCS was like, no, you can't.
What if you didn't? Perhaps.
Here's an idea.
Blaze did pick up bot camp in the meantime, though. While Hogger was up, helping make that 5v4.
So we do go and have everything up. Nazebo is back up and alive. So definitely, although it does look like Murda's moving down in order to collapse on this. Oh, a lot of damage on the Zephy.
Osprey down to help him out.
I was going in, I thought they were collapsing, and then I looked up like, Zephy is not collapsing on anything. That's a rescue operation, not an invasion.
Both teams picking up their bruisers. Both teams with level 13s online. Diablo did get souls reset. So he came back right away, but is going to be notably weaker beforehand.
No, Diablo is at full souls.
Is he?
At the very least, there's a lovely orange or yellow... Oh, Matlock taking a bunch of damage?
Yeah, Light Bomb does connect onto both Osprey and Wits End, it looked like.
Tin is the target, does go ahead and nice ice wall in order to make sure he can't be collapsed upon. And it does look like Osprey's going to go down as well, unfortunately. Nice turn onto Tin, but then Tin had a button. The buttons will get you every time.
I get you. Diablo almost able to stop the Lunara back. Not quite.
Oh my god, Ekdar, now I've got that stuck in my head. Alright, they're gonna move in here. Obviously, CCS has no chance of actually winning this, but they can get the shields down, and they do get the shields down to about 50% before their opponents finish off their own immortal.
And it definitely helps. It's not the full immortal, but whittling that down does buy them back time.
Immortal is going to top lane one more time because bottom's going to get a little bit more from Nazebo's push in during the last objective. It does look like this time Hogger's having to defend against Blaze. Nazebo is up top.
Shield almost down on immortal. It's still a decent bit to go. It's definitely going to get this top 4 as it just has. Hogger is up here though, looking to make it a 5v4.
Yep, going to get that, but that means no one's defending against Blaze, and Blaze is probably going to get the other fort. They need to get some value out of this for sure, and it looks like they're definitely going to, as Nazebo does get pulled out by Anduin, but actually gets a axe to the forehead right as he's in the middle of being airborne.
Hate it when that happens. CCS does still need to deal with immortal. No, they don't. The structures did. Thanks, structures.
Good job, structures. High five. Level 16 is online from the Anduin, and of course does take the I want to be even more of the fun police. Let's double it.
A lot of damage does go out on Vala, and being made of paper, she does fall. Yeah, not quite able to finish off that kill on the Blaze. They were down. Yeah, CCS was down 16s for that fight.
Nazebo is down here. Might, if they can...
Man, those buttons.
Buttons are not going to be enough this time around. Osprey is stuck inside cannon fire, though. Oh, nice arrow comes out, followed up by a light bomb. We're going to have no chance for Tirana until Osprey gets pushed back by the Diablo. Osprey pops Avatar in order to stay alive. Madathi is nearby. There is a stun coming in from Yatra. Meanwhile, we've got a little bit of a separation. Dwarf Hop, Osprey is trying to stay alive. It does go ahead and mount up. Dodges all of the arrows. I don't know if that was luck or skill, but it was awesome.
It's like one of those awesome spy movies where they need to like duck under all the lasers. I'm pretty sure Osprey like went into slow motion there and purposefully navigated every step of the way.
That was straight up Matrix stuff.
Didn't you know that the star of Matrix is a dwarf? Jumping dwarf with the hammer.
I mean, I know it should be.
Alright, Hollywood, if you're listening.
I know you're gonna make another Matrix movie at some point, and Keanu Reeves is done.
We do have a 5v5 fight going in it.
I guess that's true. A lot of damage. Yatra just go ahead and duck inside the bunker. Going to come out. 10 getting extremely low, down to about 50%. There is amazing combo coming out of Diablo, and just bop. We do go and have a CCS being removed from the map. Hey, you want an Oxford's paid trip back to the Nexus? Here you go. Such polite knights.
Oh, man. It's just the CC starts coming and don't stop coming. I'm not sorry.
Yeah, between you and Ektar, you've got Stong stuck in my head the whole night.
Can't have the song stuck in your head if you don't know them. Pro tip, be uncultured. Works great for me. Alright, so this Immortal does have a full shield. CCS will be fully spawned, and Knight's not quite at 20, but Blaze is looking to make that happen as soon as possible. So defense is still possible out of CCS.
Yeah, but they are definitely fighting, fighting to not die at this point, rather than fighting to turn it around.
Yep, and there's 20s for Knights.
So very rough. Immortal down to about 50% health at this point. Keladorn very weak, is stuck inside the zombie wall.
He's able to get out. All stuns dodge, it looks like, on the... Ooh, not quite. Here comes the arrow and the APOC.
That is such a... I was not respecting the light bomb delivery system. And yeah, I that would... Yep. I am so good at enunciation.
Do have Ball and Lunar putting up the best defense they can, but yeah, with Knights up 20 and are they gonna get Nazebo? They did. It's a little consolation prize for them as their core does go down and the match goes in favor 2-0 of Knights that go Bork.
Knights that go Bork are going to be your victors this series. Let me go ahead and see if I can get an interview right quick.
In the meantime, looking at talents. Yeah, we do see full key build coming out of Vala, but with Manticore at 16 to get that % damage for the Diablo. We have Devil's Dew coming out of Diablo, which is interesting. So regen globes and healing fountains buffed. I'm very used to seeing either of the other level 1 talents for auto attack build or W build.
All right, and real quick, we're going to hop over into a lobby. Probably lobby 2.
All right, I will meet you there.
All right, we'll see if anyone joins us in just a second. I never wait for a response, but I've also almost never been stood up.
Well, and we've got talents to talk about in the meantime. Yeah, we do see Tin going Spider Build again on Zevo.
I never
Hanzo's
actually
really
read
leaning
the
into
name of
scattering.
the talents, and this is me not knowing much about lore, but the spirit of Arakir. I'm like, yeah, I see what you did there, Blizzard.
What did Blizzard do there?
The Arakir is just spiders with slightly different spelling. Or arachnid with slightly different.
Anyways, we have Matlock. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
We're talking about talents because we're super good casters.
That's all right. I do the same thing. I say, "Hey, I'm targeting that chick all the time." Like it's just my team has to guess.
Yeah, and against Volatrond and Lunar, that's really
Yeah,
good.
it was very helpful.
That's okay. I've definitely had tanks that are like, okay, kill target is this, and I'm like, we're not even at the fight yet. Like,
Oh, I've done that before too. So my team will tell you that I will often call a kill target, and they'll still be at core. You know, they're back like getting full health and mana, and I'm deep.
but
The
first of
targets
all,
are juicy. The targets are juicy.
congratulations, obviously. Kind of a gimme question, but how are you guys feeling right now?
Really good. You know, we got dominated last night. We had a domination this night, so it was nice pick me up after not such a great night for us yesterday. So you know, it was a nice change of pace, and I think we're riding a bit of a high right now.
So, sorry I got pinged on Discord. I had to yell at someone. So, with that said, very, very good couple of maps. You guys did end up, I'm trying to remember. I do think you got to be, first pick map 1, map pick map 2. Is there a reason you came to Battlefield of Eternity?
We're pretty confident on BOA. It's just one of our better maps. We play it a lot, so anytime that we have a chance, we'll look at BOA. You know, it's definitely in our wheelhouse, something we're comfortable with.
I did definitely notice that you had 10 on Nazebo both games. Are you guys trying really, really, really hard to get enemy teams to stop banning Phoenix by just being out of your mind on Nazebo as well? Because if so, it looks like it's working.
Listen, anything that works. Tin is very comfortable on Nazebo. He's very comfortable on Phoenix. They can't ban every hero in the game, so they're gonna have to ban something eventually and let something through that somebody is good at. So until they start making it so you can ban every hero on the opposing team, we'll keep practicing something and getting better at that.
Definitely a good strategy.
Seems like it's working out for you.
So going back to Infernal Shrines, did definitely notice you guys had you were really, really good at applying map pressure and then running them. I did notice it was kind of surprising that on the first Immortal you tried to race CCS, even though I thought it was kind of obvious that CCS would win that race. What was the thought process behind that initial engage? How did you change going into the later part of the map?
If I remember correctly, we had a death right before that, or somebody was out of position, and we saw that they were, out of the lane as well. So we figured that we would just get as much as we possibly could. Maybe we could, stop their rotate and potentially just kind of sneak that first one out. If I remember correctly, it didn't work. I'm pretty sure they got that first Immortal. It is what it is. Then we just kind of ran our typical strategy after that and did what we do with our variant comp.
I completely said Infernal Shrines, then I asked about Battlefield because I was asking about the race of the first. So, but you said Immortal. I think you still answered the right one.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And also, our race is a little sneaky as well with the Hanzo. It's something that Akari is very good at racing. Though we obviously saw that they were going Q build Muradin, they had Q build Ala. They were a full race team. So we knew that we weren't going to quite get it. But it's anytime that we can bring down a little bit of shield, it's worth it. And we weren't quite ready to defend at that point.
Can you tell me, as stream appropriate as you can, how frustrating was it whenever, because there were times that Akari would go ahead and go with a Q and literally every arrow would go within a few inches of the hero would just kind of ride away?
Yeah, it can be pretty annoying. There was also one time where we had our combo lined up, and then the Immortal pushed Muradin out of the APOC. I think he pushed him into another APOC, but we weren't quite ready for the follow-up there. So, like, anytime that you have hard CC that you're not right there to follow up on, which, you know, an Arrow APOC combo is, there's always the potential that things aren't going to line up just the way you want. So whether that's the Arrow missing if that's your engage, or whether that's not being able to follow up fully on that Arrow APOC combo, you know, it can be pretty frustrating. But there were some expletives. There were a few 4-letter words, maybe a couple 5 and 6ers in there as well. You know, it happens. It's Heroes of the Storm. We get used to it.
So that's all the questions I had for map 2, because apparently I started with map 2. Kill me. Did you have anything about Battlefield, Anarissa?
Seems like you covered most of it.
I didn't mean to just like take center stage and talk forever, but I kind of did.
You're good, bud. Yeah, I'm good to move on / backwards to Infernal Shrines whenever you are.
All right, so going back to Infernal Shrines, it was interesting. The very first one, you guys ended up getting a good pick right before Shrines happened, and then they pushed the opposite lane, and I just about got as much or more value than you did. Did you guys change your strategy going into the later part of that map?
No, we just figured early on that we were going to trade. We saw that they were down there, so we said, let's just get as much value as we can. And then we stuck with our typical strategy. I would imagine that if anything, they changed because they saw that we got some real value, even though they were trying to counter push. If I remember correctly, Tin was down bot, and he may have died. I don't know if you noticed, but the only person who died all match was Tin. He had 1 death the first game and 4 the second. He was just hard feeding there. Very disappointed in him. So, you know, they got some value down there, but with us able to push with the Punisher, it was something that we were willing to sacrifice just to see what we could get out of it.
So what I'm hearing was the Phoenix band did get value.
I guess so, because he was the only person who died, right? So
No, he did great, both maps.
Absolutely.
Yes, always.
In no position to criticize. But.
And did you have any questions about game number 1, Anaressa?
No, you're still covering it all. / the caffeine's wearing off, so take a hit from here. You're good.
No problem. So those are the questions I had prepared, except for, can you tell me where the name Knights of the Go Bork came from?
Well, this team was originally the Knights That Stay Bronze a couple seasons ago. A few of us, myself and Silver Spy, were on the Knights That Stay Bronze, and it has evolved. We said we should have gone the Knights That say Bork or Go Bork, so we could have the initials KGB, which seems really out of color given the current climate. But listen, it is what it is. We are not endorsing anything there. But it became kind of a meme within us, and who doesn't love a dog that goes Bork? You know, puppers are a lot of fun. So we stuck with it, and we really like the name, and it's kind of fitting because sometimes we just truly Bork it up.
I mean, I do think I actually saw that you changed your logo in order to be a little less KGB. Yes, we did. Yeah, well, I have to give it up to Akari there. Akari is a wonderful graphic designer and made our logo. Made the original KGB logo and then softened it up a little bit as well. Made it a little cuter, as he says, and I tend to agree. So those are all the questions I had for you. Let me go and turn it over to you for the shout-outs, thank yous, and props that you want to give.
Sure, thanks. Props to absolutely everybody. Tin for feeding, 100%. Everybody on my team, you guys rocked it out tonight. We really gelled. Shout outs. Mockery has been a great help coaching as of late, as well as Paradox, who always does a phenomenal job coaching with us. And I also really just want to give it up to CCS. They gave us a great match. It was a lot of fun. And we hope everything goes well with them for the rest of the season, and we'll see them in the playoffs, I'm sure.
Fantastic. Well, then I won't get in your way. I'll let you go ahead and enjoy the after party.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. You guys were great. Thank you very much for the cast as well. I do appreciate it always, and you always do a phenomenal job.
Oh, well, thank you.
Our pleasure, and good luck in the rest of your season.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Anaressa, if you want to tell everyone who you are, where they can find you, what you're up to, and all of that wonderful stuff.
I'm Anare. You can find me mooching off Raka's cast and co-casting with her from time to time. You can also find me playing DPS for 30 Seconds to Mosh. And you can find me working on Next Mania with the CCS organization. One of the admins for Next Mania. And you can find me on Twitter at Anaressa_HOTS, but I'm not very good at Twitter.
And as for me, I'm Raka. You can find me right here. You can also find me on my Discord. If you scroll down, there is a link to my Discord. There's also ! Discord. There's all kinds of ways to find it. Join. You can also follow my Twitter. It is at Erikoff2 because someone stole my name and they're rude.
Very rude.
Other than that, I am a sub for the Ice Crown Citadel Queens. You can actually find me tomorrow being very, very mean to Souls in Slow-Mo. So any of you Soulsters in chat, sorry, not sorry. Other than that, we are going to go ahead and raid over to, because he was brought up, Mockery, who is the coach of Knights That Go Bork, is playing Here's the Storm right now. So enjoy his fantastic content. Is a GM in Here's the Storm, and just has one of the greatest voices. I'm very jealous of his voice, even though I wouldn't want it, because I've done a lot to change my voice to this, and I don't want it to be anything else.
Yeah, so enjoy the raid, and thanks, chat, for coming to spend your evening with us.
Oh, before we go, I should mention also in May 6th to 8th, you will also find me streaming for the Game On to End Lupus charity. So mark your calendars for that.